I think he's better off going slightly deeper with it, opening up that angle a little bit to get somewhere around that sort of range. Now we call this position the power diamond. So if you had both arms in that position, it kind of looks like a diamond front on as you're about to pass under the shoulders there. The reason why you see most elite swimmers in that sort of range is because... Hey, Brenton here. Welcome to Feedback Friday. This is where we analyse someone's stroke. We give feedback on the things that will make them faster and more efficient over the coming months. And we recommend what drills they can do to help improve all of these things. Now, if you're not a subscriber already, hit that notification bell and subscribe to the videos. We make 2 to 3 videos a week, all about helping you swim faster. Now, in this episode, we're looking at a swimmer whose best time for 100 metres is a 1:31, and across a 400, the pace is around 1:50 per 100. So looking through here, the first thing that I can see is with the legs, the inner thighs and the knees are actually a little bit too wide, so there's not enough tautness and engagement through the midsection of the body. It's more obvious when you look from the front here, and actually we'll see it quite a bit just in this next shot here. If the inner thighs and knees are really wide, then 2 things happen there. Firstly, it just means that the legs end up being out a little bit wider, which can create a bit of extra drag there. But the biggest thing that does is there's usually not enough tautness through the core and not enough tautness and engagement through the glutes. So looking side on there, you can actually see how the legs and the inner thighs just tend to sort of drift apart there. So from a drag perspective, yep, it's going to slow him down. But really from an overall control and stability perspective through the midsection of the body, that's going to be compromised. So what we want to try and do there is just suck the tummy in like you're drawing that belly button into the spine. Keep the inner thighs and the knees a little bit closer together, so not quite as wide apart in that direction. So yes, the knees will move apart up and down when you're kicking away from each other, but in terms of the width, they usually don't come too far apart there. Yeah, they'll come apart, but not a whole lot. So in order to do that, he'll need to suck the tummy in and squeeze the bum cheeks together a bit, engage the glutes slightly, and that will keep this midsection really straight, a little bit of tension through there just to hold this smaller shape, and that would be the very first thing, because without that, then it kind of makes the other things hard to do. So you want to start with the right things and work on them in the right order. Now, if you're not sure of what's the right order for this stuff, have a look at our 5 core principles. We have a video on YouTube. I'll link to that in our description below. That covers the progression that we recommend people follow. Now, the next thing I'm looking at here is the hand entry. So you can see that the hand entry is quite close to the head. So we'd be looking to enter slightly further forwards, and it's more evident from above here. If you have a look at as he comes over, okay, nice with that recovery, elbows pointing to the sky, that's good. Now that hand entry is just in front of the head there. What we normally like to aim for is having it go slightly further forwards, so just the last bit of reach and extension happens under the water instead of most of it. Reason for that is if you enter too close to the head and all the extension happens in the water, it's going to slow you down. It's a little bit too much of that arm coming forwards and pressing through or moving through in the water, which creates quite a bit of drag there. So if you can just have the last part of the reach happen in the water, then it will minimize that drag that gets created. So that would be the second thing we'd be aiming to do. Now, for him to do it, he's probably going to have to feel like he's going a long way out. It's one of those things you need to exaggerate to change. That's what I've found from coaching a lot of swimmers at our clinics and camps is there's things that you need to really overdo to change, and my guess is that's going to be one of them for him. So that would be the second thing. Now, where he gets to is really good. Nice starting catch position. So where he goes to begin the catch, we call that the starting catch position. You got fingers below wrist, wrist below elbow, and it's in this very slight downwards angle. And the rotation through the hips and the upper body as well looks really good. He's between that 35 to 45 degree range through the hips and through the shoulders. So really nice rotation side to side there with both arms. So none of that really needs to change. So first of all, we've got keeping the inner thighs and the knees a little bit closer together. Secondly, we've got entering further out in front. The next thing I'd then be looking to do is actually going a little bit deeper with the right hand. Now you can see he gets some pretty good catch positions. This left arm, excellent, really good position here. Nice high elbow catch. Now the way we define what's a high elbow catch, that's the start of the catch, that's the end of the catch. Now at the end of the catch, if we draw a line from the shoulder to the fingertips, If that elbow is above that straight line, that's a high elbow catch. And the reason we want to be in that position, hand and forearms mostly pressing back behind you. And that's going to be really effective at generating that propulsion to move you forwards. Now, this is a great position. He's in that high elbow catch. Probably goes a little bit shallow from here to here. And the reason I say that is what we want to usually try and do, and you see this most of the time with elite distance swimmers, is the shoulder, elbow, and hand will roughly align. 1, 2, 3, everything's lined up underneath there instead of having the hand out in front. Now, the difference there, as you can see, is if everything aligned, it's a lot more surface area pressing backwards. Where he currently is, that's mostly, well, somewhat pressing down there. So for him to be able to do that, he's just basically got to go deeper with the hand. So at the moment, I think he's just moving a little bit too shallow too early, which is creating that position there. So first of all, he's going to have to go deeper. And secondly, he's probably going to have to go through some drills like the Ymca drill progression that we have in our video membership. You've probably seen the first of those drills, the Ymca drill, in some of our videos, and I'll put a video of that above there. Now, that's a great drill just to make sure he gets that position and adjust the depth. Same thing on this right-hand side, really nice starting catch position. Gets a pretty good position here. He does get to that high elbow position just, but I think he goes a bit shallow, as you can see there. And it's more evident when you look front on. So here we go, right hand coming in, extending forwards, setting up the catch nicely, but goes quite shallow. And another way you can tell, are you going too deep or too shallow? As you're about to pass underneath the shoulder there, we generally like to measure the angle of the arm. It can be a good indicator as to if you're in the right position. So the ideal angle with most swimmers is 100 to 120. You can see that the angle is about 89 degrees, so around 90 degrees. That just means there's a bit too much bend in the elbow, so he's probably too shallow. So what we might want to do there, look, he can keep his arm where it currently is, but I think he's better off going slightly deeper with it, opening up that angle a little bit to get somewhere around that sort of range. Now, we call this position the power diamond. So if you had both arms in that position, it kind of looks like a diamond front on as you're about to pass under the shoulders there. The reason why you see most elite swimmers in that sort of range is because that's when they are really able to get into their lats. They're able to use their lats really well to pull through, and those stronger muscles through the shoulder and the back. If you are either too deep or if you are too shallow, then quite often it's using different muscles. You're in the upper traps, you can be a little bit hunched over, which is just generally isn't quite as strong as using your lats there. So for that, we just want him to go a little bit deeper, and again, that Ymca drill can just help him do that. And now probably a part of that too, you can see how it goes a little bit shallow there, and then the hand actually sort of presses out instead of coming into the body. So if we look at the path of the hand, what we generally want to do is have it start in line with the shoulder, come out a little bit wider than the shoulder as you go through this out sweep, and then have it come in towards the hip here. Now you can just see this part, how the hand actually goes away from the body there. So from here to here, that last part of the stroke, he'll be getting some propulsion from it, but in terms of power, it's quite a bit weaker and quite a bit less effective in terms of that direction of the force if he's out where he currently is. So we just want him to, first of all, go deeper and then bring that hand coming in towards the body a little bit more. And that's a much more direct path, and that's going to be a lot more effective. On this one, yeah, same thing, just a little bit shallow. You can see that angle as he's about to pass underneath the shoulder. He's right on 100, but I'd be looking to go down a little bit deeper here. And then, same thing, just finishing a little bit wide of the hip. So bring that hand in towards the hip there and finish off a bit closer. It's like if you're sitting down, you put your hands next to your hips and you go to push yourself up. It's pretty easy to do that. Get your hands 10, 15 centimeters away from your hips, and it's that little bit harder just because of the position that your arm's in. So that's what I'd recommend with that. And again, the Ymca drill, it's got those 4 key positions. The last position is the exit of the hand. And with that drill, you'll want your hands kind of on your hips or just past it with the palms facing back behind you. So that's why that drill can be really good for just adjusting that position there. So that'd be the next thing we'd be looking to do. And after that, what he may be able to do as well, just looking through here, the next thing I'll be looking at stroke rate. So the current stroke rate, let's just have a look at this. So I'm just going to measure or just calculate what his approximate stroke rate is. So we've got 27.5 there as he comes through. I'm just looking at the timer. So 27.5, 29.7. All right, so he's a little bit under 60. He's around sort of 55, 56 strokes per minute there. Now, my general rule of thumb for most people, not everyone, but most people, when they're racing, or if they're going, say, a 400, 800 sort of time trial, you generally want that stroke rate to be 60 strokes per minute or above. So for him to swim faster, that's another lever that he's got, another tool that he's got in his toolbox in order to swim faster there. So a couple of things that will help him swim faster. Getting that stroke rate up is going to make a difference. So how can you do that? There's a couple. There's probably a little bit too much of a pause out in front with some of the strokes there. So if we look at, say, this right hand, there's a point in time where the hand doesn't really move. It's about 0.3, 0.4 of a second. So we call that, it's like a dead spot. It's like a pause where the hand doesn't move at all. You want to keep that lead hand in motion all the time. Doesn't mean it needs to rush down into the catch, but you don't want it to stop completely. So always keep that lead hand in motion. Yep, it'll slow down out there, but then it will keep rolling through. It's not going to completely stop. So I'd get rid of that complete pause on the right and on the left-hand side a little bit. The other thing that will help with that too, look, you can probably recover a little bit quicker. So the timing, and we're just going to cut to this view here. If you have a look over here, the recovery is somewhat slow. It's quite quick on the entry, and you want some hand speed on entry, but just over the top, bring it over a little bit quicker than that. You can shorten the cycle of the stroke by increasing the recovery speed. So he doesn't even really need to pull through any faster underneath in order to increase his stroke rate. What he can do is bring the hand over a little bit quicker, cut out some of that dead spot out in front of the stroke, and already you can bring that stroke rate up to 65 to 70 strokes a minute without really putting in much extra effort at all. And it's probably going to be pretty much the same amount of effort, and it's going to be quite sustainable for him. So that's the progression that I'll be looking to follow there. So just to recap there, we've got keeping the inner thighs and knees a bit closer together. So suck the tummy in, belly button into the spine, engage the glutes like you're squeezing your bum cheeks together lightly. You can do some drills with that. You can even put like a kickboard between your legs like you'd use as a pool boy, and that can help teach you that same sort of engagement there. Second thing that we want to do is enter a little bit further out in front of the head. So we don't want to enter too close. You don't want this triangle shape to be that sharp. You just want it to be out in that sort of range. That's the second thing. Then we looked at going a little bit deeper in the catch and pull. As you can see, he just ends up going a little bit too shallow, and I think that shallowness of this part of the stroke here is probably causing him to stay a bit wide. So after he goes a bit deeper, get those hands in next to the hips. The Ymca progression drills are the best ones for that. It hits on each of those positions and just helps you retrain that motor pattern. So they're the drills I'd recommend. And then after that, just looking at increasing stroke rate as another way that you can swim faster. So currently around 55, 56 strokes per minute. If this is his, say 400 meter pace, over time, there's no reason why you couldn't bring that up to 65 to 70 strokes a minute without really any extra effort. And that's also going to help him, bring that 150 pace down to 145 and 140 and onwards from there. And we've had a lot of swimmers at clinics and at camps who have been able to do that by following that same order and progression. We've had thousands of different swimmers do clinics and camps, and I get emails regularly about people who have taken 10, 15 seconds off their 100 meter pace following this same progression. So if you're interested in getting something like this done for yourself, we offer this in a number of ways. We've got clinics that we run around Australia. We have a number of camps. We've got some in Thailand, Hawaii, and in Australia as well. You can check those on the website. And we also do online coaching where you can send in videos as often as you like, and I do the analysis for swimmers. So that's our online coaching membership, check that out below. There's links in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next week. Let me know in the comments what you think of this analysis and one of the things that you got out of it, and if there's any other suggestions that you'd have for this swimmer. Thanks for watching. See you next week.